relationships, the word real is implied in a relationship, right? So there's supposed to be some realness, and then there's a ship that you're getting into. So it's a real ship. Yo, that felt very, very philosophical, all right? But let's get into it. Now, marriages and long-term relationships tend to be the culprits for these particular issues, where you have these things that kind of like it's a spark, and once you ignite that spark, it just catches fire. You know, it's like when you leave gas on and then you just throw a flame and it just right in your face. That's exactly what those are. They are pretty much ways to start fights, or things that start fights in relationships, and especially long-term relationships and marriages. One of those silly, silly little questions that can cause a fight is, why didn't you tell me about this earlier? Mbona hukuniambia kitambo? Yani, you knew and you didn't tell me this information earlier. Why? Why didn't you do that? Why does this cause issues in relationships? Because one, it gives a very combative stance. You are wrong for not telling me, and therefore I am right for questioning why you didn't do it. See that combative state in which we're in? We're fighting, okay? Which means the other person can either very quickly defend themselves and be like, why didn't you ask me? Oh, why? I didn't think it was important. You know, they can go into defense, or they can actually take it like a big boy or like a big girl and be like, oh, I'm really sorry. But oftentimes, guess what happens? Oh, hata wewe kwani lazima uambiwe. It becomes the defensive mode, right? And this can lead to so many issues down the line. First of all, why didn't you tell me that you were buying that house? That's our money, is it not? Why didn't you tell me that your mother was coming? Why didn't you tell me that your children are not in school anymore, they're failing at school? All of these questions are so combative, and I think in this particular case, I feel like it's important to rephrase how you ask a question to prevent it from being such a, you know, like a very battle stance type question posed as a very battle stance question, but more change it into a little bit of a tone that makes sense. Like, even if someone comes and tells you, "Well, mbona huku," you know, you start to defend yourself. So try and switch how you word it and get your answers. But ultimately, if you ask it that way, oh, you're gonna be in trouble.
Another question that actually breaks marriages. What have you been doing all day?
Hey yo,
What have you been doing all day? What, Wakimani, what
where
have you been doing?
Hey,
You know, somebody has come from wherever they have come from. They have found you enjoying your Mexican soap, enjoying your K-drama. And then they ask you, what have you been doing all day? That, especially, you know, more so stay-at-home moms, or in a household where there's an uneven distribution of chores.
Yeah,
you
labor.
know, so the person who went to work or has a 9 to 5 or is providing financially into the relationship feels like, okay, then this is your job, you know, cleaning the house is your job. So why is there the sock that I left at the door? Why is it still here? What have you been doing all day that you wouldn't clean this house? And I feel it's usually charged because both parties feel like they have been contributing to this household, but one person is viewing themselves as, I do better than you. I am relationshiping this relationship better than you are. So in my higher authority, I ask you, what are you doing? What have you been relaxing? And I even saw this funny TikTok of this girl waiting for her husband to leave so that she can relax in peace.
Oh,
you know,
no.
you know that feeling of, you know, if I just sat down and hang out, it wouldn't feel right because he's here. And I'm just like, hey, you all need to have a conversation. If you cannot be lazy in peace with your partner, who can you be lazy in peace with? So I feel like having this conversation is very weird. Also, a better way to ask this question is, hey babe, tell me about your day. And if the other person has not been doing what they were supposed to do, that will kind of make them think about, oh, okay,
What did I do with my day?
I have sat on this couch the whole day, and that's not a good thing. And maybe they'll, if they're a sane person, it'll kind of trigger them to do better with their day. You know, you have come home, you have found dishes there, you have found there's no food, you have found, you're like, oh, hey babe, are you okay? Tell me about your day. Maybe it's a depression. So yeah, it's a very charged question.
Another very difficult question, because we always tell you here that there are two difficult conversations in a marriage: sex and finance. Now, if already finance is a big, just scary thing in your relationship, imagine somebody coming and asking you, what did you do with that money?
Accounting.
Where did that money go? I'm sorry, Mr. Auditor in Chief. I apologize that I have to give you financial documentations showing you profits and losses, showing you expenses, showing you financial projections. That's how it comes off. Whenever someone comes and asks you, what did you do with that money? It always feels like you're being asked to prove your proof of concept of how we have arrived at, we had 1,000 shillings and now we have 0. And it feels like such an imposition. And already finance is a difficult conversation in a marriage. So imagine having to now like, oh, so you will immediately go on defense. You will also do what your mother used to do when you ask her for that 50 bob you were given by your auntie when she came to visit, or your grandmother. And your mother said, let me keep it for them. And then you go back to your mother and you're like, ma, ile 50 bob ulipatiwa uniwekee iko wapi? Anakwambia, kwani umekula miao? What have you been eating in this house? Air burgers. You know, parents used to do that. And in the same way, when your partner starts to ask you a difficult question like, what did you do with the money? You tend to go into defense mode, or you lash out at them. And so we need to find a better way to phrase that question. For example, hey, I'm just checking on our spending. Like, is there anything crazy that I should know about? Like, is there any big spending? Have we bought anything crazy this recently? Wow, did we do like a huge, did we take a huge financial undertaking recently? Because I'm just really curious. I want to see how we're spending money. You see, in that case, it's like, oh no, I didn't spend. I don't think we've taken any financial undertakings that are crazy, but I did go on this crazy shopping spree the other day. I bought a few shoes. I did go on this crazy shopping spree the other day. I put some money on an investment. I did actually send some money back home to Gishagi for my mom. I did, it's more, oh, I don't think so, but there is this one huge expenditure that I've done. It makes it easier, as opposed to, where did you spend the money? Kwani, it's your mother who called me, I say, oh, Kwani, it's my mother, it becomes, it's a very different way of responding to something that is simply a question of, where's the money, babe? Is that
another one that just gives you anxiety? Why are you coming home at this time?
At this time?
At this time, you're arriving at our doorstep. For what? Let me tell you, when a partner asks this, it kind of feels like you're living back home. Like this person has transformed from your husband to your father. And that's just not a good thing, because what is this? We are both adults, okay? If I am running late, I will text my partner and say, hey babe, I'm running a bit late. I'll be home at this and this and this time. If I had said I'll be home by 11 and it is 11 and I'm still at the club, and let me tell you, there's no DJ amewachilia mix. Very quickly, I shoot my partner a text, because I'm not a monster. I'm saying, hey babe, please, for a sleep. The DJ has a mixtape from heaven. See you in the morning, or see you at 6 a.m. Because
it's true, you're gonna be there.
First of all, I want him to know that I am safe. I've not been kidnapped by my taxi driver. There's so many things that go into updating your partner on where you are, on what you're doing. It's not about control or anything like that. But now when you skip all of that, and then you get home, and he's sitting in the dark waiting for you to turn on the light, just like a vigilante sitting there, or you know yourselves. Your husband has not told you anything from the minute he got off work. You know very well, kazi yao wanatokanga 5, hata hawananga overtime. In fact, hata my husband is very notorious, anatokanga 4 p.m. Kwa hivyo najua kutoka 4, na saa hizi ni 11, na hata hajani text anything. I know ako pahali ananunulia watu guarana. Oh my God. Before you start jumping into all of those conclusions and scenarios, can you even you yourself and call and say, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? Cool. That's it. So that you avoid this question. Where are you coming from at this time? Because, hey, but then most of these things can be really solved with communication. Just thinking of your partner and being considerate enough to say, hey, I'm running a bit late. Hey, I'm doing. I've seen here they've given an example of when your partner comes home and you say, "Were you out saving the city again?" No, this one is also an insult because if I was to use this scenario, okay, and my husband has come home at 4 a.m., I would be like, ha, very well, Batman, wakemani, ingia hapa. Unakaa nje kama Batman, lakini pesa sio ya Batman. Tunafanya nini Batman? Bruce Wayne. So I don't think this is a viable question.
It really
or
isn't.
a viable alternative.
It is, and I love
It don't
what,
make
I love what you said there, where you said even you can just call them and find out where
Yeah.
they are. Like, you know, that's the thing that most people tend to make it look like it's an impossible task.
Yeah.
Your partner hasn't arrived home. You're getting concerned. You're starting to go a little crazy, and you're like, he will call me. She will call me. He will call me. She will call me. Hey, kwani simu inafanyanga kazi one way? Can you
Can I
call
pick up?
them?
Come
Like,
on, I go work and go
hey, what's up? Are you okay? Just checking up on you. Also, are you anywhere nearby, or do I just like proceed with my day? Hivyo tu. Hivyo tu. And you will get all the answers. Jua kichukua akiwa dumdumchua, unajua bas ako club. Let's raise hell. You know?
Ehe.
Akichukua akiwa in the middle of hospital. You know?
Asipochukua, now you can start
Asipochukua,
conclusions.
you can start find my friend. No, find my. Wait.
You can track him.
You can be a sleuth, an internet sleuth.
Hey, this guy. Hey, guys.
And finally, as we are about to switch up gears, where is the food?
Hey,
Why is the food not ready?
am I a chef?
Excuse me, the emperor, the conqueror, the lion, the champion is here. Hey, because I don't understand. When we signed a contract which entails the fact that I am your in-house chef, baby boy, I don't understand when I became your housekeeping crew, baby girl. I don't get it. Like, how is that a question right now? Come and tell me, hey, oh, I see you're still making food. Do you want me to help you? Or, hey, what were you having for dinner again? Do you want me to pick up anything? That's a question. That's a question. But where is the food? Why is the food not ready? Even you can see the food is not ready. Eh? What do you want me to do? To cook it faster? It's like those people who it's like, where are you? I'm on my way. It's like, oh,
Come faster.
can you get here any faster? Now you're at the uko stage hapo unafanya hivi. You
I'm
know?
trafficking.
You know? It's madness. It's really how you phrase these questions, as you can clearly see. It's really how you phrase the questions. It's the tone in which you look. Your partner is someone to be respected. Your wife is someone to be respected. Your husband is someone to be respected. Your boyfriend is someone to be respected. Your fiance is someone to be respected. These are people you accord some form of respect. And in the same way you wouldn't want them to talk to you the way you're talking to them right now, is the same way you shouldn't involve yourself in talking to them in a weird way. It's just that simple. Is that how you would want someone to talk to you? No. If not, change that. It's really not rocket science. What do you think about this whole matter?
I feel just communicate with you.
Ah.
A lot of this. Don't be that person who says if he doesn't do this, you know that you're hurting yourself. You know, you're in the house overthinking and waking up scenarios and doing. Your husband, he's perambulating. He's having the time of his life. He is living. So instead of doing all of that, pick up the phone. If he is late, pick up the phone and say, hey babe, are you okay? When you establish that he is okay, he just happens to be living his life. Hey, can you turn around and just go to bed? Or even you, what is stopping you from putting on your mini skirts and your boots and going to perambulate? You know, there's absolutely nothing stopping you, but because you've chosen that I will not communicate, I've decided to be angry at this person, whatever outcome. You know, if he's safe, yes, but he's not communicating, that's a reason to get mad. If he's not safe, why did he put himself in such a situation? If he's not, stop finding
Like
a
there's no
reason to be
winning.
mad.
It feels very tedious to just have these same old conversations, same old fights. Just talk about it. Whether you've pissed me off right there, because you could have just easily told me, babe, I'm running late. Just that.